Getty Kenny Miller's time at Rangers must be over soon. It's unthinkable for Baldwin to speak without his client's permission, so if the agent's hacked off, then that means the player feels he's been hung out to dry by a club that's, in Baldwin's words, embarrassing. Miller has a contract until the end of the season, but even if it means taking a financial hit, he should cut his losses now and get out. If things are so bad and he's being treated so poorly after an apparent run-in with the manager, why hang around a second longer? Had Rangers been a force, I doubt if Miller would have been at the club these past 18 months. But they haven't been strong, and Miller has stayed because he was their best player even in his late 30s. He deserved credit for keeping himself in great nick and playing with his heart on his sleeve. Saturday, September 23, 2017. Which Rangers players impressed during their 20 defeat to Celtic? Miller has been a key figure in the Rangers dressing room for a few years now, a big voice and a strong presence because of his standing as a player of experience. The Scots and home-based players will still look up to him. And this is where the next problem lies for Rangers and Pedro Caixinha in particular. I don't believe the words from the Miller camp would have been aired if the player didn't feel he had support among his mates. That's the big crisis for the manager. It hints at a wider split in the Ibrox team. It will only take one more bad result for ill will to surface again. And I think that loss will come at Hampden on Sunday. It hints at a wider split in the Ibrox team. Motherwell in Mugs and Rangers, despite a couple of back-to-back wins, are no great shakes. Lewis Moult was the player of the month and deservedly so. The Ibrox men rely on the on-form Graham Dorrans to make them tick, but Motherwell have the steel in midfield to strangle him out of the game. There's not enough quality about this Shares team for them to feel totally confident about beating Stephen Robinson's side. Miller will be nowhere near the Rangers team on Sunday because of his ongoing row. It's easy to give Caixinha a kicking, but I've not been eager to do it. The guy has been doing his best, but he's always just one result away from having the fans on his back again. Hampden should be an advantage for Rangers given the vast numbers of fans who have snapped up tickets. Getty Brendan Rodgers should be commended, but that also brings pressure, and if Motherwell start brightly and get their noses ahead, I'm not certain the Light Blues will handle it. Tomorrow's semi-final promises to be an absolute belter. Celtic are not firing on all cylinders and could have lost to Hibs in the league the other week. Hibs have had a whole week to prepare while the Hoops are off the back of another Euro hammering. I expect the likes of James Forrest, Tom Rogic and Callum McGregor to come in. Moussa Dembele could also be in, although I don't think he looks fit, and I would stick with Lee Griffiths. It could be a classic, but I still expect Celtic to go through. I said before a ball was kicked in the Champions League group stages that success for Celtic would get 4 points from the section. I stand by that and was not in the least surprised by the defeat in Munich. While there are plenty lining up to criticise Brendan Rodgers, right, for trying to play the Celtic way, I applaud him. The club hasn't had an identity in terms of playing style for years. The other week we praised Scotland for playing a passing game, then they choked against Slovenia, and for me the reason was a lack of experience in trying to play the right way at the top level. So count me out of the clamour to get Brendan to adopt a more cagey approach. We need to see more of this, not less. If Celtic get the better of Anderlecht, then Europe has been a success. If they learn harsh lessons along the way against better teams, then so be it. Only Craig Gordon and Kieran Tierney got pass marks the other night. Too many players lacked the bravery to take the ball under pressure. That has to change, but playing defensively with 10 men behind the ball to nick a point won't help Celtic or indeed Scotland in the long run.